Hello. Okay.
Ken, what did Trey Brown show you in this debut?
Well, as you saw, he was a very confident young man. The game isn't too big for him. He's been pressing and waiting to get out there. And you can tell that during the time he was out, he was really working to get back on the field. And it really showed. He really stepped in, made some plays, made an impact, made a big tackle when we needed it, and he certainly was a spark.
You would know more than I, but the form of his tackles, look, they only were three of them, but they all seemed to be shoulder into the torso,
Right.
head up, short, and the guys they fell backwards instead of forward.
No question. He packs a punch. Obviously, we teach a lot of tackling. He's been paying attention, so we can't say that he hadn't been taking his notes. But just to see him really come back and make an impact the way he has, knowing him the way we all do, we all know he's a gamer and a player. He really practices really hard. But to step in a big moment like that at a big time, it really says a lot for for what he's been his hard work.
In what ways did your defense improve most, or where did you see the most improvement from your defense Sunday?
Well, we saw it in a lot of areas, but the most glaring for everyone to see was just the consistency from the first half to the second half. So often that we play, lights out in the first half, and then the catch-up yards come in the second half. It's been that way for us for a few weeks. This time we emphasized it as much as we did, but the guys really stayed focused. They stayed disciplined about it, and it was very apparent that the second half was, we had to keep guys out of the end zone. But at the same time, it was consistent. It was really disciplined, and there was no setbacks.
Did you use Bobby differently on Sunday? In the run?
Differently than
Normal.
Well, he's a middle. He was a middle linebacker. He was in the middle, and he roamed and he played run and pass the way he does. We blitz him as well, but he was still the leader in the general. So I wouldn't say we use him any different. A lot of times the offense, the way they attack and the way the offense has a certain personality, you have to play certain different ways. Sometimes as a running team, you play run, passing team, you play pass, and some teams mix it up well. So different philosophies in offense, changes changes the way you play.
It looked like you guys switched up how you guys were playing your front seven a little bit, and you guys were going to hold Harris to 3.4 yards per carry. How did you feel about the run defense throughout the game?
Well, the run game obviously is always an area of concern. Anytime you can make a team one-dimensional and take the run away. But it wasn't anything about our fronts. We are multiple front. It's about our discipline, making the plays, guys working together, and again being consistent from the first play all the way through 60-minute game.
How did you feel about the pass rush? Obviously, I know they get the ball out fast and all that, but did you feel like you were?
Well, like you said, it's really tough when he gets it out. There were sometimes he got it out at 2.02. He gets the ball out pretty fast on his RPO, so it's really hard to get a pass rush at that point. But the main thing is to, get your hands up. The main thing is to be really sticky in your coverage. But the pass rush is coming along. Obviously, it's going to be continuing to grow on the season. But anytime the ball is coming out that quick, it's really hard to get a sack.
Saints look like a completely different offense with Jameis Winston running it than Drew Brees. Where are the biggest differences?
Well, they're two different quarterbacks, obviously, and you can see Drew does a really good job of throwing a lot of quick balls. The ball comes out quick with him. Jamison, he likes to throw a ball a little bit deeper, a little bit more play action, but at the same time, his quarterback rating is pretty high. Obviously, they run the ball very effectively, so I think that it's kind of more balanced run and pass with Jameis.
Statistics aren't everything, but Carlos Dunlap's had a few games where he hasn't had any tackles, and it seems like he's had long stretches where he hasn't been able to get in the backfield. What can you attribute to that? Is it how teams are approaching him from a blocking standpoint? Or?
That's hard to say. Obviously, we have a lot of good guys playing at the same time, but Carlos has put in a lot of situations, run and pass. We asked him to do an awful lot. He rushes. He's inside. He drops. He does a lot of different things. So he's been very, very versatile for us. So it's hard to pinpoint one thing.
The Najee Harris touchdown catch. What did you make of that play, and what Benson Mayo was asked to do in that situation?
That's tough. It's hard to cover a running back like that in the 3-yard space. As a defender, you have to take away something. Benson did a really good job of taking away the inside, and the back broke to the outside. So the best thing we can do is for me just to call a better call. It's hard in that situation, but that's pretty tough. In any situation, any man or inside zone, you got to really just mug the receiver to try to make sure you get a pass break up. But that's a really tough play on anyone.
Why didn't Alton Robinson play very much against the Steelers?
You can't pinpoint one reason, but you can say there's a lot of people in his position. You count 3, 4, 5 people. So it's hard to get reps when you have that many people in one position. So that would be the main reason.
You brought Jamal blitzing a little bit more, especially early in the game. It seemed like. What did you think of that and how that worked?
Well, we've been creative in different ways to get him pressure, because we know everybody likes pressure. Jamal plays better that way, but you got to understand he gets a lot of attention. Anywhere he shows up, everyone's pointing at him. So with that, it opens up pressure for everyone else. You see Darrell Taylor stepping up and different guys getting closer to the quarterback. But he's a guy that certainly has been able to enhance his game now. He's a well-rounded player. He's on really good in the coverage aspect and as well as blitzing, but it certainly opens it up for other people.
How does that work in a game when you get positions that rotate in? Like, do you leave that up to the position coaches to say this guy's playing, or will you say, hey, I want Alton on this player, I want somebody?
Well, it's hard for different reasons. Different guys have more effective, but a lot of times you go with the hot player. If he's hot, you keep him going. If he's shooting and he's making all the shots, you keep him in. So you kind of go with the hot guy at the time.
Marquise Blair, so like he played quite a bit.
Yeah.
How did you feel about him and kind of where that nickel position stands right now?
Yeah, Marquise and Umadi have been going back and forth on the nickel. They've been really competing out here on the practice field. And again, they'll both be playing a lot. But he's still doing a situation where they're both playing certain plays. But they both are going back and forth. We're very, very solid at that position.
Is it just a rotation thing, or do you find different things they do well that like you want to hit at different
There's
times?
no question they both have certain qualities and certain skills that they do better. But the main thing, they both are really good football players. So you're going to get them both on the field a lot. They work well together.
With Jimmy G, Matt Stafford, and Big Ben, are they just particularly unique in how they don't let you rush them? Does that explain some of the pass rush we've seen the last week?
Well, you just have to see the time that they keep the ball. You have to see how soon does the ball release from the time that they snap it, and what the NFL average is, and how long does it take for a defender to get from point A to point B. Then you put that average together. If it takes us, 2.8 to get there, and they're getting rid of it in 2.0, then that's that's pretty hard for us to get there. So we have to try to get them off the spot, put more guys in coverage, and get our hands up. Different ways we have to combat the fact of the speed of the release.
What do you think of Brian Monet and Lafleur in coverage?
Well, we have defensive backs to do the coverage.
What's the thing, I guess, behind dropping them like he did against the Steelers?
Sometimes you get more coverage. You get more coverage if they can't get there, and the balls come out quick. Then you get more guys in coverage. That's kind of the takeoff.
The play where Jamal didn't get the interception there late, was he just kind of looking to try to make the hit there, or was there?
Yeah, a lot of times, there are certain route patterns, and a lot of times once you were playing a good tight zone, and then the pattern reveals itself, the guys play a nice tight man coverage on it, and it seemed like he was going for his coverage, and all of a sudden the ball shows up and pops him. So that's that happens.
Anything else, guys?
Thank you.